Okay, guys. Oh, God. Current resolution is not supported. Hi, guys. I hope I'm being heard. I am very new at this. Not sure whether this is working, if at all. I've got a message showing that my video resolution is not supported. So I don't know whether you guys can actually see the video or not. If you can, do let me see your comments in the video section below. Okay. There you go. Loud and clear. You can hear me, but can you see me? I should move the chat box away so that you can see a little bit clearer. Hi Jala. Hi Wing Sun. Are you guys able to see my video? Oh yes, you can see me. That's great. Finally it's working. I had a lot of trouble trying to set this stream up because I have honestly no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying it out. Hi Wade, pleased to see you here. Thanks for coming online. This is very new to me. I don't actually know what people do on live stream, especially for topics such as this wireless sound, right? I'm not pretty to look at, so there's no incentive for you guys to come on. Hi Diego, how are you? And probably I thought this was just a channel for me to interact with you guys, my viewers, and to say hello. So if you have any questions at all relating to, well, you know where my area of expertise is, it is on Sonos. And recently we have been looking at, or rather I have been looking at Apple Music. And Apple Music just launched the lossless, just launched the high res, and launched the Atmos, which was pretty confusing. And hey, hi music Nusantara. How are you, fellow Singaporean? Oh, best connect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support. And I do try my best. I don't always know more than anybody else. It's just that I stay on the problem a little bit longer and I try to figure out the way out of it, which includes the recent Apple Music launch where they were talking about Apple Music delivering high res, delivering lossless, and delivering Atmos sound, especially through a pair of stereo headphones. So, okay. We have a question. I'll get to that part in a bit. Now, the confusion is how do you deliver Atmos via 2-channel, or can Bluetooth support lossless? This question is a little bit hard to answer, okay? Because the problem is not so much whether the channel itself will compress or will support, because Apple Music says that it will deliver Atmos, but are you really hearing Atmos? That is the problem. Yeah, Jala, that is the question, right? How do you get Atmos in headphones? So I've been testing this to death. It was actually very, very hard to discern whether there is an improvement or not. And I will tell you, if you listen to Atmos track on the headphones, there is a difference. But is the difference better? And that's the question that I've been asking myself quite a bit. And yeah, so this Virtual 7.1 headphone, right? Because there's some DSP inside, and it processes the signal, delays some frequency, and makes it such that your ear hears different frequency at different times, and you will perceive it to be slightly more spatial in nature. And therefore you think that, well, it is 7 channel, but the 0.1, which is, that subwoofer channel, yes, it can process the 0.1, which is the lower frequencies, probably below 200 hertz or so. But the problem is, can you play it? Can you hear it? Is it meaningful? Then, the question begs, is it meaningful to listen to Atmos over 2-channel headphones? That is the problem I have. Okay, so Wingsun, to your question. Apple Music, right? The AirPlaying lossless to Sonos 5. It does play 24 bits, 48 kilohertz sampling. So the Sonos 5 can actually handle that. The Sonos 5 cannot do true high res, which is 96 kilohertz and above, right? 48 kilohertz it can play, and 48 kilohertz is kind of considered as high res as well, because it is higher than the CD sampling rate of 44.1 kilohertz. Apple Music will AirPlay lossless to Sonos 5 because it will send lossless track, it will pull lossless track, but is it truly lossless? That is the question that I think only an Apple AirPlay engineer will be able to answer properly. If you ask me whether there is a difference, to be honest, I was trying out a lot of combinations, not perceptible. And the problem is the sound is a little bit louder. It runs a little bit hotter. So to a lot of people, when they hear something that is louder, the automatic perception is that it is better. But it is not. Just because it's louder doesn't mean it's better. But your brain is immediately tricked to think that it is louder. So maybe not that fair in that sense. And I do believe that Apple Music, like Tidal, they code the lossless and the high-res tracks a little bit hotter. So you hear it and you think it is better. But I have discovered one track which I will release in a video, upcoming video, to show you the difference. Listening on the stereo headphone on how Atmos changes the soundstage. So there is a change. And I actually had to listen to a lot of tracks before I found this track that best brings out that change, brings out that difference in the soundstage. Okay, I'm just going to answer the question that Diego has put up first. Just give me a minute. I have been using spatial audio with my AirPods Max, and it sucks for me. I will wait for a new Bluetooth codec for my AirPods Max for real lossless, and also a new codec for AirPlay 2 for my Sonos ecosystem. Yeah, so for the Sonos ecosystem, I will say this for start, right? Because they currently, the hook that they have into the Apple Music Store, they can't pull anything more than stereo. So the moment that opens up, that they can pull the lossless track, then yes, you can pull the 24-bit, 48 kilohertz sampling rate files down easily. I don't think they can do lossless, high-res or lossless yet. Yeah, but at least we know for sure that they will get that version down, and they will be able to get the Atmos track down as well. Okay. Have I cleared the space on the wall for the new new Symphonics speaker? That's a very interesting question. I'm going to just do something. How do I show this? Okay, above my TV, there's a space right? Where I have a picture frame that is being hung up. Okay, you can't see it. There's a picture frame that is being hung up now. So there's another hole in the wall that I can put in to hang up the picture frame speakers. I don't know. I'm just going to test that and see how it goes. It's a very, very interesting concept. I don't think it has enough volume because speakers depend a lot on the enclosure volume. And if the enclosure volume is not there, it might not throw out enough sound, especially at the lower frequency ranges. So we'll see. We'll wait for that, and I'll test it for you. No problem. Do you think Sonos will ever do wireless in-wall and in-ceiling speakers? Okay, let's put it this way. Ceiling speakers, or rather, Sonos speakers are all wireless, right? So there's no need for a line or a speaker connection from an amp or from any other source to the speaker before it will play. But you need power, all right? And to run a power cord all the way up, I think it kind of defeats the purpose because you still need that cable. And if you're going to be embedding any cable anyway, then no point. And Jala, you're right. They have an architectural series for in-wall as well as the ceiling speakers. And for that, you actually need a Sonos M to power it. I actually have ceiling speakers here, but they are not from Sonos, not from directly from Sonos, and they are not from the architectural series. The Sonos M is actually driving those up. So will they ever do that? I don't think so. So Yamal, that is my answer for you. Okay, Anton, you have a beam plus 2 surround. Should I upgrade to Arc or get a sub to get full 5.1? Okay, this one is easy. Let me take that. And bear in mind, sometimes my answer changes, right? Depending on the equipment that they roll out. But right now, as of today, I would say that the answer for you is to get the sub. The sub adds so much. I never have problems recommending the sub. And for most people, when I ask them to buy a sub, they try it out, they will invariably come back and say, thank you for the recommendation. It changes the sound. If you don't have neighbors to piss off, or rather, if your neighbors won't get pissed off, go for the sub. Okay, how do I make all these texts stay longer? They're just disappearing a little bit too fast, but let me read from the history. Okay, the link above shows AirPlay 2. AirPlay 2 does support 2448. Yes, it does support 22 bits and 48 kilohertz sampling rate, but not beyond that. Jala goes, yeah, but you need the amp. Yes, you need the amp to power those. In fact, if it is wireless, it just means that the amp is in the speaker itself. Reset slide, so power easy to tap. Yamil, I don't know about you, and I'm not an electrical engineer, but for lights, the power circuit actually is slightly different from the 13 amps that we need, in Singapore at least, to run anything other than lights. So you might not be able to tap the same power source. Yeah, but power source, the cables tend to last a lot longer and less susceptible to any kind of degradation. What is the minimum specs for the USB DAC for Atmos music? You currently have a 5.1 Creative Omni. Will it work? Didn't get to test it because I haven't renewed my Apple Music. I am actually not very sure about the DAC spec at all. I do have a DAC. It is capable of processing up to 992 kilohertz sampling rate, but I just haven't got round to doing it yet because to get the signal out from Apple, you need the lightning connector. To too much trouble. I have not got around to testing it yet. Let me just test all the more regular use cases first. I will get to the high-res lossless in a bit more, which requires the off-board deck. Hey, oh God, I can't pronounce the name. What's up? Okay. Would you recommend a specific setting if you have a Playbase with the full Sonos surround setup? Do you recommend getting an Arc? I don't have the Playbase now already. I actually sold my Playbase quite a number of years back, maybe about 2 years back, I think. So I can't do any testing to figure out what's the best. But if you want to upgrade the Sonos Arc, because of the length, it actually gives a much wider sound stage. But bear in mind that the Playbase, in my opinion, is actually very, very nice on its own. So even if you don't have a subwoofer, the bass coming out of a Playbase is actually better than the bass that's coming out of the Arc. So if you already have a subwoofer, then I guess it doesn't really matter. And you just have to make sure that your TV supports the Sonos Arc to get the best out of it. And what do you need? You need Atmos capable TV, a TV that is capable of receiving Atmos signals, and eARC connection. So the eARC connection, you can attach a HDMI cable from the TV to the Arc so that it can pass through full Atmos sound. Second sub, does it make a huge difference to the Sonos Arc surround system? Okay, be like, question is simple, but it's very subjective. When you say, does it make a huge difference? Not quite. It does make a difference, but I don't think it's huge. I don't think it is worth that kind of money. If you are having problems in your current setup, in the sense that the bass is not even throughout the room, then having a second sub actually helps even the bass response throughout the entire room. And if you have usually a big audience, 4 or 5 person trying to watch the same movie at the same time, and they're sitting at different position and feeling the bass differently, then having a double sub, having a dual sub, putting a second sub in the same room helps to even out the bass response such that everybody feels the same. But if you're talking about you yourself, then I don't think the difference is that great at all. So definitely not worth the full price sub. Incidentally, if your first sub is a sub Gen 3, you can get away with getting a older Gen 2 or even Gen 1 sub, and you can add that as a second sub. The sound signature is slightly different, right, between the generation, but that's your dual sub. And in fact, I would go as far as to say that having 2 different sonic characteristic, slight difference, might actually do better than having both of the same sub, because you can cover a slightly different range of bass frequencies. Oh, the questions are really coming in. Okay, do I use the Connect M? Do you have any normal speakers? Well, I don't use the Connect M. I use the Sonos M. So the Sonos M is actually driving my ceiling speakers. So they are my so-called normal speakers. They are passive. They are 8-inch Yamahas, which are embedded in my ceiling. I have 2 pairs of them, so 4 of them in total. And the M is driving them in parallel for left and right, but the front and rear is connected in parallel. I sometimes connect that Sonos M as the rear surround channel for my Sonos Arc. So it makes the sound appear to come from the top, which is pretty interesting, but it mars the Atmos 3D effect quite significantly. It's probably not as accurate as Atmos would have intended it. Okay, Polar Bear, hi. Thanks for all the information they provide you. You learn a lot, finally deciding to get an Arc with 2 SLs and a sub. Ha! Okay, and would I recommend a second sub? No, not for now. If you just got the Sonos Arc with the 2 SLs as well as a sub, just live with it for now. Figure out and get used to the sound. Figure out how it sounds like, and learn about where the defects, the deficiencies are, right? If you think that it's going to double your enjoyment, I assure you the second sub will not double the enjoyment. It will make it slightly better, and it will help you even out the sound in the room, but it will definitely not make it significantly better. So save the money first, hold on. Hey Weng Sun, I am experiencing much deeper bass on my 5 pairs with AirPlay 2 to them. Of course it's louder, as you say. Not sure you're having the same sentiment. AAC sounds thinner. Yep. Weng Sun, that is exactly what I'm facing, and that was exactly what I was trying to convey to you. The bass is deeper, and it is louder. Now, imagine the frequency response curves. You know, I do all the frequency response curves, right? So even if the frequency response curve was exactly the same, and they ran it a little bit hotter, and if you're just paying attention to the bass frequencies, you will see that it is actually louder. So you might imagine, no, you're not imagining it, you are hearing more bass. So I think moving it up a little bit, running it a little bit hotter, if it was Apple's intent, will actually make you think that turning on lossless or turning on Atmos, for the matter, makes it better. Okay, so that's the part I am not quite sure I can actually place a finger on that yet. Hey Soju, how am I? I am good. Thank you so much, and thank you for all your support. I am very happy to share my tips, my recommendation, and yeah, don't worry about it. It is not something that I do for a living. It is something that I enjoy doing, and I enjoy sharing it with all of you guys. So thank you for your support too. Okay, and you have a question on the Sub and the Arc, and you're planning to buy rear speakers since it's best buy a used old Play one or the newer ones. This one, let me answer that for you. Get the old ones. I am running the old ones, and I actually don't physically own the newer Sonos One. So I had 4 or 5 or maybe 6 of the Sonos Ones, the new ones, which I sold. In the Sonos Ones Gen 1 and the Sonos One Gen 2. And I've sold them because I actually find that it doesn't provide any additional sonic performance over the old original Play ones. So if you can get the cheap Play ones, they are just as good, right? Get them, you will enjoy the Sonos Arc and the Sub a lot better. The sound feel is then complete. Can you add more than 2 speakers and 2 subs to a soundbar, like ceiling speakers to enhance the Atmos? You cannot add ceiling speakers and get Sonos Arc to know that they are for the Atmos channel. So today, the Atmos channel, the only way is for it to come from the top of the Sonos Arc. I did put in a request, well, not that I put in a request, my feature wish list is for Sonos Arc to be able to pair with a Sonos amp, which is driving my ceiling speakers to actually output true Atmos from the ceiling speakers. That would be sweet. That I'm waiting for. Okay. Okay, I probably want to let me just read. Can you add more? Okay, I've answered. I'm happy. Not spending another $700. Yes. Yeah, please let her know I don't always advocate spending money. So thank you. I think the possible new codec for AirPlay 2 will be a game changer. Yes. So AirPlay 2 is a little bit long in the tooth. It has been out for a while already. So either they refresh the codec or they come out with AirPlay 3. I don't know. But if they do that, then a lot of changes abound for many manufacturers around the world who has implemented AirPlay 2, including Sonos itself, right? And every other wireless speaker manufacturer, which includes the Blue Sound as well. So might be tough. Hey, Alex, yes, I'm finally live. My God, it took me quite a bit. Which brand would I recommend for LED TV backlight that can change the background light based on the images? Oh, hey, Melvin, that question. Tough question. Because there is only one product that I'm aware of. I don't know another one. And that is the Philips Play. Right? Philips Hue has this product. I think they call it Play. I am not sure if I remember that correctly. But it is really expensive. So the last time I looked at it, it was like 400 over Singapore dollars. And that is just for the unit itself. And you need to pass your HDMI through to it. And the HDMI takes only one source. And then you need to buy the lights to place behind the TVs or the light strip so that it will be able to recognize. The setup wasn't that simple. I didn't explore it because I think to get the effect, it got really too expensive. I used to have a Philips TV and that has MB light. And the MB light, it does that function. It actually was built into the TV. Anything that you show on screen, regardless of the source, regardless of the input, even live TV, even the built-in apps, it was able to show. So it was built into the hardware. And I think that is the best implementation I've ever seen in that kind of MB light strip. But otherwise, the only option that you have is really just the Philips Play. Okay. Yes. Thanks, Polar Bear. Yes, you are right. That product called Play Light Bar double pack. You still need the Play unit, I believe. Yeah. Can I tell you about my wireless network? Hey Jala, this is a very interesting question. Guys, just hang on. Let me check whether I can, increase the time that the checkbox messages are staying on the screen, because it's just going away a little bit too quickly. Always. So messages, on settings, chatter. Okay, let's try this. Hopefully it stays around a little bit longer. Sorry, I am very new to this. This is the first time I'm running a live session on YouTube, and glad to see so many of you here. Very, very happy to meet all of you. Questions, keep them coming. I'll try to keep up. My wireless network, I am running Ubiquiti, and this is the unified network. I have 4 access points around the house. I also have one more network which is set separately. That is a Xiaomi Wi-Fi 6 router, completely separate network, except that it taps off the unified router. And I do that because I actually try to remove all my testing equipment from the main network. And the main network, the unified network that I have, actually has a lot of IoT devices. So there are probably about 150, I'm sorry, I'm not sure whether I should be proud to say that now. There are probably about 150 wirelessly connected devices connected to the network right now today. So there is some latency. Everything has to be sliced up. So, yep, that's why I try to separate the network. Hope that answers your question, John. Thanks after COVID. Yes, after COVID, my God. Hey, today is the 13th, so by right, tomorrow you're supposed to be free to move around a little bit more, no longer just 2-person. Okay, is it a good idea to use a pair of ones for a Mac via AirPlay? Okay, Music Nasantara, fellow Singaporean, let me tell you, not ideal, because there is a slight lag, right? So if you are trying to match the visuals on the Mac with any speaker on AirPlay 2, there will be a slight lag, and depending on how sensitive you are, that might completely throw you off. So can you imagine you are trying to watch a movie, for example, or trying to watch any YouTube video, the guy is talking and there's a lip sync issue, or the bomb goes off, or the gun goes off, and then the sound comes off after that. So not ideal for that connection. And can I put Sonos Arc under the bed for a cleaner bedroom? It depends on how much space you have under the bed. So Gustavo, if your bed is high enough, right? And once you lie the sub down, you have at least 4 inches of clearance above. For the air to move, then yes, you can. But the sub itself is 6 inches. You need 4 inches clearance. So that's about 10 inches of clearance. So I think if you have 10 or maybe to be safe, 12 inches of clearance under your bed, yes, you can shift the sub under the bed. But bear in mind that you might end up a little bit boomy depending on where under the bed you place it. And just take note of the dust. I don't think electronics like dust very much. So keep it clean. You should be fine. Okay. This is a little bit faster. Good idea to use. Should you use Play 1s or Play 3s as surround? Currently, my Play 3s are not being used because, sorry, I just have too many of them around and I can't use them. But the Sonos Play 3s, when you connect them as surround, they are very, very loud. They lend a lot of volume to your whole setup so that your rear, you might actually have to tune it down a little bit. Or you could just enjoy the fact that you now have a much louder system. So if you have the Play 3s already, I say go for it. Otherwise, they are a little bit long in the tooth. They are now about 9 years old already. If you can get them for cheap, then use them by all means. But if not, the Sonos One SL or the Play ones will actually work just as well. Oh, make sure I get something to drink. Thank you for that. I actually have a bottle here, but I am okay for now. Any benefits in connecting the Arc via Ethernet port? I have not had any issues using Wi-Fi, but wondering if you're missing out. Don't worry. If you have no issues with the Wi-Fi, you don't need to connect the Sonos Arc with Ethernet port. It is not going to make your sound better. It is not going to make your sound faster. So don't worry. If you have no connectivity issues, everything is instant and connected, and the synchronization across your entire network between the Sonos speakers are okay, then don't worry about it. You don't need to. Hey, does Apple Music Atmos provide an Atmos playback via AirPlay to my Arc? The answer, John Tucker, is no, it doesn't. There is no Atmos music that will be recognized. Now, they will say that Apple Music will say it's playing Atmos. It pulls the Atmos track down, but when it sends it via AirPlay to the Sonos Arc, it doesn't register. Sonos Arc, if you check the Sonos Arc on the S2 app, you will see that it is actually running only stereo. So you won't get Atmos. Okay. Does Atmos support for upward firing speaker for all channels? Sonos only support in Arc, not in surround, left and right. Yes, AJS, that is true. There is no surround speakers up firing channel. So how Atmos work is it can be a 0.2, 0.4 or 0.6. So you can have ceiling speakers, right? You can have front, middle and back. But for the Sonos, it's a 0.2 system. The Sonos Arc is a 0.2 system. There are only 2 drivers here. It fires up from the front up, goes up. You won't get much. You won't get any upward firing sound from the surround if that's what you're asking. None of the surround sound speakers today supports an upward firing channel. Fun fact, saw that the new Xbox has Atmos in some games in beta stage. Yes. That is true, Polar Bear. And I just got my PS5 as well. And I realized that PS5 has no Atmos support for games. So the Atmos capability is reserved for you playing Blu-rays, but not for playing games on the PS5. So Xbox, I'm not sure if they do have it. I think it can be quite interesting. Yeah. You use Sonos Net or the Wi-Fi network. So JPress, I actually use a Sonos Net at times. And why I say at times, I almost have it always connected, but it depends on whether it's powered on or not. So I have a Sonos Beam, which is connected to my main TV. and that is not always turned on. So when that is not turned on, then the Sonos Arc is running all wireless, but when that unit is turned on, it's plugged into the router directly, so it will set up Sonos Net, and then I use Sonos Net. So it really depends. For those who don't have an eARC TV, would you recommend HD Fury? Well, let me try to answer that question. HD Fury is something that I looked at intensely at the start, and I actually ended up not getting it because it only allows for one source at a time, and it doesn't work if you are using the built-in apps on the screen. So imagine if you have a HD Fury box, and this HD Fury box, you will need to connect your streamer. Let's say it's an NVIDIA Shield or your Apple TV into this guy, and it connects to the Sonos Arc. The output for visual goes to the TV, and the output for the Sonos Arc actually comes from the HD Fury. So it only works for one input at a time, and it doesn't work for the TV built-in app. So I'm not sure. Yes, of course, spending $3,000 on a new TV is kind of painful to get eARC, and HD Fury is $199. But if you're happy with your screen and you think you're going to live with that for the next, I don't know, 5-8 years, hard call, very, very tough call. I did ultimately pull the trigger, and I got this LG CX for a pretty good deal, I think. And it's a 55-inch screen, much smaller than the projector that I was using, but well, it is what it is. I just couldn't take the single source inconvenience. Hey, UDM Pro 3U6 AP Unify, okay. Waiting for the move at the end of 9 great minds. I was about to buy 50 bulbs and 25. Oh, Jala, UDM Pro, very nice. And oh, you have the U6 APs already. I hope that's working well for you. I have been waiting for them to release the slightly faster 4x4's Wi-Fi 6 APs. Not seeing them yet. Have you heard the Sonos Arc where there's a ceiling fan? Okay, I have a ceiling fan right now in this room. The thing is, I don't really turn on the ceiling fan. There was once I tried to see whether it causes any problem. So, Marcus, my answer to you is that the ceiling fan was so loud that I didn't find any problem with the sound from the Sonos Arc top firing channel getting distorted. So, I don't think it becomes a problem with the sound. It is more that the ceiling fan is loud anyway. Do you know how the Arc communicates to the surround and the bass? Is it over your network or did it connect directly? It connects directly, Jala. Yeah. So once your main speaker is set up, they actually establish their own Sonos net, and they will communicate with each other without going through to the router. Left after Sonos. Yes, Wing Sun, both the speakers will disappear from the Unify controller because they are not using your Wi-Fi anymore. They are not going through your router anymore. They have their own Sonos net connection. Hey Melvin, you have a Beam and two Symphonics, IKEA Symphonics as surround, but the surround sound a bit choppy when streaming YouTube, Netflix. Beam is wired and surround is wireless. How should you improve? I actually need to know what you mean by choppy. Is it cutting in and out? If it is cutting in and out, it does sound like a case of a bad network. I would think maybe you try to troubleshoot this a little bit, Melvin. Move the surround closer to your beam, right? And you try to see whether it is actually cutting in and out or not. If it is no longer cutting in and out, then it is a connection problem, and you don't really have a choice unless you are willing to reposition the speakers slightly. The other way is to get the name escapes me. The device that creates the Sonos Net, I think it's the Connect, yeah. And if you run it, but it is actually the equivalent of plugging in your Sonos Beam to the LAN, which you have already done so, haven't you? Yeah, your beam is wired, so it shouldn't matter. So your only choice is to move the surround closer to the beam and try to make it line of sight, I would say. Yes, music, I agree with you. Arcana is more economical. Yes. Polang, having issues with Wi-Fi stability in the Sonos system. The Sonos Wi-Fi used to be called Sonos Bridge. Yes, that Sonos Bridge, yeah. Fix all such issues for me. Yep. And hi Ninja. Topre, you are asking about keyboards now. Okay, truly it is Ask Me Anything. I don't know about Topre. I haven't actually tried it. Topre is a different class of switches, right? And the reason why I like my keyboards, and I'll just switch over, which view here? Yeah, okay, this particular view here. The reason why I like MX switches keyboard is the fact because it is pretty and there are a lot of choices that you can make. You can change out all the switches, you can change the keycaps. Topre, you will be slightly restricted, so that is not something I like. Yes, this is a GMMK Pro new keyboard, just got delivered not long ago. Enjoying it right now. Okay, let's get back. Peter, in response, could you not use the HDMI switch? Yes, you can use the HDMI switch, but the switch that is coming from a few devices will then need to go before the HDMI. Hey, actually, that's a very good question. You can try that. Oh, I remember, because HD Fury, they actually sell a switch that works together, but that was going to double the cost or something. So yes, you can do that, but you're right, the TV app, they still can't do it. When upward firing Arc speakers produce output, does that mean that? No, not really. John Tucker, it doesn't mean that, because I realized that sometimes the top, the top speakers, they are actually throwing out sound as well. So the only way to tell whether you have an Atmos signal is to go inside the S2 app to find out whether you see the Atmos logo or not. Now, with the option of boosting up the upward firing channel, will the sound cover the ceiling fan better? Oh yes, Marcus, of course. In fact, that boosting the heights output was the best thing ever. I think that upgrade should have been done a year ago, or should have been even in the launch of the Sonos Arc, but they just came out with it just maybe about a month ago. But yes, that you can actually boost it significantly, right? If you boost it all the way to +10, it should become pretty loud. So yeah, you're right, it can do that. Now, which 85-inch TV, Alex, 85-inch TV would I recommend? If I'm not mistaken, are you looking at OLED? Because I'm actually not very familiar with the Sony range, or for the matter, the Samsung range. I know the LG range. If it is the LG, the best TVs that you're going to get is either the CX or the GX range. And in fact, the new ones, the C1, will actually be all OLEDs as well. I didn't keep up. I stopped my research after I settled on the CX, and I stopped looking after. If you ask me, Samsung actually has better remotes. Sony has better remotes. So if remote is something that really cheeses you off, this LG remote is really ugly, really sucky. Oh, never mind. But anyway, screen-wise, quality-wise, I'm very happy with the CX. So I just hope that I don't have to touch the remote as much as I have to. So Alex, I really can't answer you, because I would think that the LG CX eARC is working very well. The other Sony or the Samsung TV, I can't recommend to you enough, because I don't actually have them to recommend. So not responsible for me to recommend those. And Polar Bear, drop out. Yes. Oh, you are from Chicago. How are you? Let me see. Can you see this? I have this shelf here. And inside this shelf, I have... Yep. I have 4 drop out. 3 of them low profile, 1 of them high profile. High profile is in black. Low profile, I have 3 of them. I have 2 of them in space gray and 1 of them in the British racing green. Very beautiful. And slightly restricted is an answer. Yes, you have 4 Topre boards. You really like them. It is a personal choice. Yes, keyboards, all personal preference. Elvin Chin, how heights audio work? Do I increase it if the distance from myself? No. In fact, well, actually, yes. Let me get that right. The height of your ceiling determines the delay in the sound, not so much the volume. But because the higher the ceiling, the more the sound has to travel, and the weaker the bounce sound comes. And yes, you increase the heights channel if you are not hearing the heights channel as well. So I made a video about the heights, right? And I show you where you could download the file where it will fire off the top speakers, the heights channel, so you can do your adjustments from there. And when you make the adjustment, then you will be able to figure out, okay, you are comfortable hearing this amount of reflected sound from the ceiling, and if your ceiling is a little bit higher, then yeah, all good. My ceiling here is about 14 feet, so I do have to pump it up quite a bit. And imagine how relieved I was when Sonos actually says, okay, now we're going to allow you to access the heights channel adjustment. Fantastic. I picked up my TV going to the store and seeing what looked the best for 2 to 3 hours. Yes. Well, anything that's got to do with sound, with visual, a lot of times it's got to be what you like. Not just the image itself, but also how the TV looks. So how the TV looks is really a matter of preference. Some people like the, for example, Samsung the frame, and that looks really pretty, but it makes it a little bit thicker. Some like the CX, right? Because it is so thin at some points in the TV. So it really is a matter of personal preference. And so when will the 5-line-in, what will the 5-line-in resample? Even for uncompressed mode. Oh, I actually have not tested that, so I can't really answer you. Line-in resampling uncompressed. When it's uncompressed, it just means that the bitrate changes. I can't tell. I am actually not very sure, so I can't answer you there. I'm so sorry about it because I don't use the line-in a lot. The line-in introduces a lag, which I am not willing to live with. And Sony XM4 earbuds. Throw a link it up. Okay, good question. Okay, Fu Rongsing Fu, right? I will get back to you. I will look at the Sony XM4 earbuds. The shape looks weird, but I do want to try it out. I tried the XM2, I tried the XM3. I'm not about to stop and say, okay, I'm not interested in the XM4. I will take a look at that. Let's see how it goes. Okay. Andy, how can we resolve the Sonos 5 lip sync issue? Hey, that was the question I was almost just answering. You cannot resolve that problem. It does not actually get rid of the delay at all. You can change the delay a little bit, right? Such that it tries to play in perfect synchronization, but there is still a minimum, if I'm not mistaken, of 70 milliseconds. And I've tried it, and I tell you why I tried it. I tried to put the Sonos 5s as part of a karaoke system, right? And when the words come on the screen and you sing and the sound delay comes out, oh God, it's horrible. Karaoke has no tolerance for lip sync issues at all, as you can imagine. So you can't get rid of that. Hey, hi John Christie. Thanks for coming by. And Jalal, do I have any room treatment? I have this wall in front of me, right? It is above a 3.6 meter glass panel, which serves like a part of the wall. And on top of that, I have foamed up. Okay, it's not the prettiest looking. At the back wall, I have some, which is also foamed up. It really mattered when I was running discrete channel amplification. I had a full 11.2 setup, 2 subwoofers, 7 ground speakers, 4 heights channels, and running through my whole power amp setup, and it was terrible. It was a lot of cables, a lot of wires, a lot of power, and it mattered then, right? But now, because I'm using the Sonos Arc and it requires some kind of surface to bounce the sound off anyway, I didn't think it matters that much anymore. So if you are not chasing that $20,000, $30,000 setup system precision, then I say forget about the room treatment. As long as you have more things in the room, not necessarily having to buy foam, right? It could be just putting more desks, putting more chairs, putting a couch, throwing soft toy, throwing blankets. As long as you break up the sound, I think that matters. If you have more things in the room to break up the sound waves and to disperse it, then I think it's good. You don't need extensive treatment there. Okay. The line-in is analog. Yes, the line-in is analog using a 3.5. And Wing Sun, I don't know, if you have an Apple TV, you can do it automatically. Yes, I do remember that they have something like that. I think it's worth a shot. Maybe I will try it. Thanks for the suggestion. So this is why I love this kind of interaction. We should do this more often, shouldn't we? Yeah. And why can't Sonos make separate front, left, and right speakers? Well, you can. Well, actually, they don't do that. Yeah, you are right. So the home theater setup, and I suppose you are talking about home theater, right? Because otherwise you can put a left and right Sonos 5 or Sonos One. But if you're talking about home theater, they have the Sonos Beam and the Sonos Arc, the current products. They had the bass and the play bar, but that's past product. But the Beam and the Arc, they don't have it. You can't actually allocate that. They should and they could, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit hard to implement. I'm not very sure about that. But you can use the Sonos Amp though. The Sonos Amp, you can buy your own speakers and it will be a left and right, except that it doesn't have the center channel, and then it tries to simulate a phantom center channel, which I'm not a big fan of. So, yeah. Oh, Jala, yes, it's analog and it doesn't do whatever signal it receives because it has to digitize it so that it can do multi-room. It has to send that digital signal to the other Sonos multi-room setup that you have. That's why they need to redigitize that analog signal. Pretty doesn't matter if it doesn't sound better. Yep. I feel better. Sound reaches deeper into the soul. And better sound, Jana, it reaches deeper into your pocket as well. Remember that, not just into your soul. Oh yes. Hey, Wing Sun, you truly know your stuff. Wow. Thanks for sharing all that. What is the best way to resolve the lip sync? Okay. Lip sync issue, the amp can't do that. But if you pair it with the Arc and the Beam, yes you can. Yes you can. So indeed, the only way to do it is to pair it with the Arc and the Beam. But that being said, I've tried it before. Some users report perfect synchrony, right? When you're playing the source at 2 different locations. One is the Sonos Arc being fed the source from the TV, and then you turn on the other room that contains the Sonos 5. Some have reported perfect synchronization. I have experienced a little bit of lag. So that sounds like a little bit of echo, but your mileage may vary. It really depends. I didn't try further because I didn't like the way it was being delayed. But that said, I didn't really try very hard. So maybe there was a way to do it. I just didn't figure it out. Hey Polar Bear, I am not rocking the Unify Dream Machine. I have not done that, the UDM. I would love to, but I'm really waiting for the Wi-Fi 6 APs to come out. Best combination, M and is 50 meta or M and BW. BW706S2. That is really not too bad. And I'll tell you about the Sonos M, right? The Sonos M is really a monster. I just cannot imagine how powerful they are. I used to drive a pair of SVS Prime Tower speakers, I think 3 drivers, if I'm not mistaken, and a tweeter, and it was driving them not an issue at all. And those are big, right? I used to power the these SVS Prime Towers with 300 watts per channel power amplifiers, and the Sonos M did it, not a problem. It wasn't even hot to begin with. Really, really cool. So to drive the BMW 706 S2, very good. The BMW 706, I would tell you that it tends to be a little bit anemic in the bass department. So having a lot more power will actually help the headroom more. And with the M, you can actually adjust the bass setting, so it will help bring out that lower bass frequencies a little bit better. I would say that some people will say it's not really purist, but you know, I'm not really into the purist sound at this stage in my life. I just want the convenience. I want the excitement when I'm listening to the music. So maybe it's not very accurate, but I like it. Okay, what new Sonos products or updates would you like to see? For me, it will have to be to share the yes. Oh, you have 2 extra here. But yes, I want to share the sub between rooms. My God, I can't begin to say how much I want it actually. The placement matters, okay? So if it is in 2 separate rooms, you still have to physically move the subs anyway. If the sub is in a separate room, you're playing it, it might not work very, very well. So yeah, it really depends. But I want to be able to move them easily without having to redo true play all the time. So if I'm willing to move it physically, if I'm willing to put in the hard work, I shouldn't have to be punished by doing the whole true play thing all over again and to set and all this. Oh, it's really irritating. Yes, I agree with you. And upward firing ones to improve Atmos. Yes, if that was the case, I would even go as far as to say that the ones, you don't actually have to change it, right? If you have some spare ones, some spare play 3s, or even the 5s, for goodness sake, or the Sonos M driving the ceiling speakers, move them to the top and allow them to play back, pair them in to the whole room setup as top firing speakers or upward firing speakers, and let them play the Atmos channel. Yes, that's what I want. Do I use Home Assistant? If so, do you have any favorite things it automates? So Jala, I use a lot of Home Assistant. I primarily have a Google Assistant, so I won't say the hey whatever word here in case it triggers yours, but I use it to turn on and off switches, and I use it to turn on and off the lights, and that is about as rudimentary as it gets. I don't use it for much else. I know you can set the alarm and turn and set timers, but I don't use that. I don't even use it to read news. Yeah. And John Christie, Sonos Roam loses its Alexa connection when turned off, requiring an install. Oh, no, actually I don't use Alexa, so I actually can't help you with that. I am so terribly sorry. I am not familiar with Alexa at all. But the Sonos Roam, it is a product that you actually have to keep powered on. So turning off might be an issue, to be honest with you. So I've resigned to leaving it on putting it charged on the wireless charging, the Qi charging pad, and then I seldom move it. So it's as good as being tethered down after the initial euphoria of being able to move Sonos speakers around the house. Yep. And yes, audio delay with line-in TV, but adjustment of audio delay in S2 app. Oh, I didn't think. Oh, okay. Yep, so the S2 app might have the audio delay. I thought it went in one direction, but not in the others. But let me try to explore that again. I do need to look at that. Yep. Bro Yojo, how do I do my frequency response test? I use REW, which is Room EQ Wizard. It is a software that generates frequency response, frequency sweeps. And I play it out through AirPlay or through Bluetooth to any of the speakers that I need, or even line out, right? If the speaker in question is able to do it. So the speaker will pump up that frequency sweep. So I then connect a USB UMIC 1 to the PC, and it reads it listens out to the frequency sweeps that's being played, and it measures the amplitude for each of the frequency. So the sweep then comes out. So that's how I do it. And Polar Bear, I am located in Singapore. I'm originally from Singapore. Okay, and Wing Sun, get the U6 Lite AP. It is so powerful, easily better than the Nano HD. So I'm running the Nano HDs around the house, and because of Wi-Fi 6, you intend to install. Wow, 1 AP to power the whole house. That is really not bad. Okay, good idea. Let me think about the U6 Lite AP. And Jala, I'm afraid of updating the app and losing my TruePlay. So the only Apple product I have left is the iPad Mini 2. Yeah, the iPad Mini 2 will be able to do TruePlay. So I don't think that's a problem, right? But you just hope that it doesn't break down. Then you have to borrow other iOS products. My God. Music when you wake up. Good idea. Oh, this has been a good forum. Thanks for helping out, Wing Sun. You have been really, really helpful in today's live session. Yes, okay. At this point, I am going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, guys, I am back. I went to have a drink. I didn't realize that I've been speaking for an hour. Time flies when you're having fun. Time's fun when you're having fun. Time flies when you're having fun. Yes. Okay, and I am back. So what's up, guys? This is the longest name. Okay, longest name. Though I'm sure to be honest, Kai. Yeah. Hello. Hi. And Jala, you have 4 pieces now. Arc, 5s, and 2 symphonics. So that's perfect. Are you missing a sub there, Jala? I'm sure you're missing a sub. And we soon WireGuard VPN configure the Pi to run on 500 gig SSD. Then I put my music on the soundbar share. It's music everywhere, anywhere. Oh, VPN back home. Cool. And I'm very sure, Wing Sun, that the Pi doesn't clock up so much electricity. I'm actually using a NAS, and yeah, I can of course access the NAS from outside the house, but the problem is that the NAS, with all the spinning hard disks and the power consumption of the enclosure itself, it actually takes up quite a bit of power. So yeah, I actually set it to turn off at specific times during the day, because I'm pretty sure between 1 a.m. and 6 a.m. I'm definitely not going to be using my NAS. And yes, your new place will rock. Will rock. Yep. Well, yeah. There's a way to play cricket sound, but okay, never mind that. Oh, 80 light bulbs on a Nano HD. The Nano HD is capable of running up to 500 devices, if I'm not mistaken. You probably have to set a much bigger subnet mask, because otherwise you'll be limited to 255. Don't you wish that the LG TV was showing the actual volume level? Yes, the plus and minus changing volume. You are absolutely right. Let me just show it. Yep, there you go. There, it's up, down. Yes, this TV. Come on, plus and minus. Actually, I have a much older LG TV somewhere else in the house as well, and that is running with the beam. And yes, it only shows plus and minus. Same thing. It is annoying. I agree with you completely. Actually, to be fair, the Samsung that I have, when it's connected to an external device, it also doesn't show the actual volume. Only when it's internal does it show the actual volume. Okay, how many people do I have live? Okay, concurrent viewers are now at 24. I think it hit a peak of 30 odd. Guys, I have been doing this for slightly over a year now, I guess. No, actually, since the channel started booming on Sonos, it was just about a year back in June of 2020. I did start the channel a couple of months before June 2020, but I was still trying to find my footing, and I'm very glad to have found a community here, and you guys are so supportive. Thanks for supporting my channel so far. This is the first time, right, since I started doing this, to host a live. I was very jittery at the start because I didn't know how to do this properly. I tried getting on Twitch earlier. I guess not everybody is on Twitch, so I didn't get to do much on Twitch. I stayed around for maybe almost 2 hours, and there was 1 follower. So I registered the account hours ago, so I know nobody starts and expect 1,000 or thousands of followers. But I guess if YouTube Live is where you guys all are, I should do my live sessions, this kind of sessions, on YouTube Live. So if you guys are in support of this, do let me know, and I will stay on YouTube Live to do this. Hey, and yes, thank you for your support. Yes, this is my first time doing YouTube live. I didn't realize there was so much talking. Oh yes, I was finished there. Is there any reason to... Oh, okay, hang on just a minute. Let me go back a little bit. I missed some of these questions. Okay, what is my favorite streaming service? It used to be Spotify. I kept all my playlists on Spotify. Then I moved over to Apple Music. I can't remember what was it that made me move to Apple Music, but I did. All right. And now that Apple Music has unlocked lossless, has unlocked high-res lossless, and has also included Atmos tracks, I think that has just become my favorite streaming service. And on top of that, they're not charging extra for all these. Tidal charges you more for high-res, charges you more for lossless, and Spotify with their new upcoming tier will also charge you more. But Apple Music, same price, and you still get everything. So, yep, that's what I want. Oh, Greg has an interesting question. I'll get to that in a while. Marcus, yes, the LG 2021 model will show the volume. I am not sure. I don't know. There could be a logic behind not being able to show the volume, because maybe the volume is not feeding back. Oh, no, that cannot be it, because on my projector, which is connected to the Phantom reactors, they are actually showing the actual volume. So yeah, I think it's a matter of implementation. Greg Buttocks, what is a good camera to spy on your cameras? On your neighbors? I don't know. I don't spy on my neighbors. Maybe something with a very long zoom, like the P900 Nikon, or is it P1000? Maybe it's already a P1000 now. It has a 50 times or 100 times optical zoom, which is crazy, right? Yeah, I think it's 100 times optical zoom, and equivalent of 2,400 millimeters. I'm not so much into cameras nowadays, but yep. But if you wanted a camera that is fixed, like a surveillance camera, I don't know. Okay, any reason to upgrade the Play ones for high-res music from Cubase? I heard they and the second gen sub won't do 24-bit music. I will tell you my honest opinion. Let's not expect Sonos to do 24-bit music. And short of the Sonos 5s, I think none of the Sonos speakers in the Sonos range is able to discern the quality of a higher bit rate. All right. So if it is 16-bit 44 kilohertz, which is CD quality, I think it already is probably the limit of what the Sonos ones or the Play ones will sound and what they are capable of delivering. So let's not ask too much of these Sonos small little speakers. Okay. YouTube better? Yes. Okay. Let's stay on YouTube then. Greg, but not a simple Alexa camera attached to binoculars. Okay. Do I know what's up with the video output of the Sonos Arc? Oh, is there something with the Sonos Arc video output? Because it shows that wavy screen, and that's it, right? I didn't think there was anything to it. Just a few days ago, I'm rocking a Dragonfly Cobalt Plus Apple Lightning to USB 3 Beyerdynamics DT990 Pro headphone. Oh, high res. So that's the Dragonfly Cobalt. So Wing Sun, you are making me want to dig out my deck. I don't use it much nowadays, but let me try to dig that out. I think I have it somewhere. Or is it a player? I can't remember. Let me try that. What is the best portable deck for lossless music? Paul, I probably can't answer the question. I think some of these, like Wing Sun and Jalal, can probably help you with better. Use a chic stack with the HD6XX. Good budget setup. Yep. I was actually looking at a Mass Drop. Used to be called Mass Drop, now it's just called drop.com. And they have this planar electrostatic speakers. I can't remember what is it. Gosh. I was thinking of buying them. It's actually pretty cheap, $120 US, and that's it. Yep. Listen on my bed. Yes. Is portable? Yes, portable. Polar Bear, is my day job in IT and software development? No, I am not. I haven't been, well, the stuff I do, it's got to do with tech. So I'm technically in the fintech industry, but I don't do the programming. I don't do the software development. So I was trained in software development. I did start programming at a pretty young age, and that was so long ago. I was with my grandmother, and we were walking past a bookstore, and there was this huge white book that she bought for $3, right? And say, "Are you interested in it?" It was about basic programming. So I took it up, and I managed to salvage an Apple IIe, right, from the dumpster, and really from the dump. Somebody threw it away. It was working. It had a green monochrome monitor, and I started programming in BASIC on the Apple IIe, which I got from the dump. So my grandmother started me there. I was 10 years old. And yes, Jala, FIIO, FIO. I always have problem pronouncing this name, but good stuff for wireless. I don't know, but they do have, and oh yes, I do have a FIO M6, if I'm not mistaken. My wife bought it for me during one of my birthdays, I think. A small gift that she brought. She wanted to buy something else, but I thought, hey, this is new, and this was new at that point in time, and I thought I want that, so I just bought that. It was not very expensive, I believe, probably about 200 US dollars, I can't remember. But yes, the interface was a little bit slow. The whole player was a little bit slow, but it has that functionality to decode. So maybe I'll use that as a deck as well. It is not too bad, quite budget, but it works. And hey, Jala, you are a software developer. Yes. I probably stopped when they were going from C++ to HTML to JavaScript, and I was still doing some kind of scripting. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. And Paula, you are the marketing guy. Okay. Yuri, hi Yuri Dreamski. Are you saying no Sonos speakers support 24 bits and 48? No. They can support 24-bit and 48 kilohertz stream, and that is what they meant by high res. So the Sonos 5s, the Sonos Sub Gen 3, and the Sonos Arc, when they were launched, they were able to support 24-bit and 48 kilohertz sampling rate, and you need the S2 app for that. So you're not mistaken, you are right. And you have heard good reviews on the FIO. Yep. FIO is not too bad. It's I think made in China, designed in China. Well, it is a China brand. And to be honest, anything that comes out from China today, you've got to respect. They are so fast, they are so quick, and they really keep learning and learning. It is like maybe 20 years ago when you try to buy a car that's made in Korea, and it doesn't feel great, right? Korean cars were always a compromise in some way for the low price that they are being sold at. But today, if you buy any Korean car, actually it drives well, and it is pretty good value for money. The quality is quite good. The construction is quite good. I mean, I don't drive a Korean car for now, but I think they do actually represent pretty good value. So you got to give it to the countries who are willing to learn and build upon their experience to make better and better products. And that is what Chinese companies do, and that is probably what FIO has been doing for the last couple of years. And yes, I agree with you, Jala. They are a good China brand. Okay, and the time is 10:20. I have been live for 1 hour 21 minutes so far. Okay, I guess I'm gonna end this call in about 9 minutes time, so that will make it a 90 minutes session. Tomorrow is a working day. I do have a full-time job, and I try to sleep early to prepare myself for the next day of work. So 10:30 is a good time to cut. Let's try to close things up. Yep. A few more questions. Xiaomi is also good. And yes. Oh, you know, Jala, now that you're on it, I recently did a review of these earbuds. So these earbuds, right? These are earbuds from Ugreen. And it is 35 US dollars before a 30% discount. So it works out to 25 US dollars. This earbuds, the bass, I posted a video, I think it was three videos ago. I was so amazed with them. I didn't think I would actually like them, but oh God. Okay, I shouldn't gush here. When I made the video, I didn't realize it was a 30 minutes long video. And I just went on and on. This is a Chinese brand, Ugreen, and very, very good quality earbuds. Check out the video if you are interested. And okay, Yuri Dreamski. What happens to a 2448 stream in a 5.1 setup? Nothing actually. The processing is actually done by the brain, which is the Sonos Arc in this particular case. In fact, even the beam will play it. So I think the key is in the S2 app being able to process it. I'm considering purchasing the Sennheiser HD headphones for lossless listening. Okay, Sennheiser HD. I haven't been following up, but there should be a model that is coming up, right? HD 600, HD 650, HD 6XX. I believe if you hit the HD 800S, the price starts getting mind-blowing. I don't know. Yeah. So Jala, yes, they make cords. You didn't think they would make earbuds. Yep. Okay. That was my impression at first. So I buy a lot of Ugreen products. A lot. So all these HDMI 2.1 cables, they are also from Ugreen. The USB cables, they are from Ugreen. The HDMI cables, they are connecting my cameras from the to the PC. They are also from Ugreen. Power cables, charger, everything. I have so many Ugreen. This one coming up. This is a Ugreen PD 100 watt charger, 4-port, 3 USB-C, 1 USB-A. I'm about to review this too. So I have a lot of Ugreen products, but I never paid attention to their audio products because what do they know about audio, right? But when I tried it, it was like, oh, I was mind blown. I was so taken aback. It's really quite good. Yeah. Okay, drop. Okay, this is something I can learn. Drop HD6XX are the HD650. Okay, that's cool. Oh, yeah. They are selling the consumer audio. Drop came out with HD820 equivalent. 820S. Something new I'm learning. In fact, I want to be able to get another pair of headphones, wired, don't need for batteries, so that I can use it for streams like this, so that you won't hear the speakers echo back. And the Sony, right? This Mark IV, these are the WH-1000. They are pretty comfortable, but it does get a little bit warm after 90 minutes. So yeah, maybe I should consider that. Okay, good idea. How is the drop delivery to Singapore? Drop delivery to Singapore is $15 flat, regardless of order. But what I know is that it is extremely slow. I don't know. They probably chose the cheapest and the slowest option. Look, nothing takes that long. Some products from China where it is free shipping, they are faster. So I don't know what Drop is doing. I don't know where they're shipping from. I don't know if they sit on it before they send it out, but they are so slow. Drop. Yeah, the keyboards, anything that comes from Drop. I don't understand why they will take 3 weeks to arrive from wherever they are to Singapore. Yep. Quality of and the bit rate of Apple Music playing via Sonos Arc. Not AirPlay, integrated directly. Oh, Alexa. No, then it's the same, right? Because the Sonos Arc, when it's pulling from Apple Music direct, it is actually pulling the regular set stereo version. I made a video on this. I think it was the last video that I made. They don't actually have the hooks to pull down the lossless or the Atmos tracks as of yet, and definitely not the high-res track. So they're just pulling the regular ones. You won't hear a difference today. Okay. 650. Hey Paul. Okay. Sennheiser 650 660S. Literally XX. Yes. It is the HD6XX, as in it is not 6XX with XX representing 50 or 60, but it's just HD6XX. Yep. I'm gonna mute myself for a while. I'm gonna search for something. Just give me a minute. And guys, yes, that drop headphone I was looking up for is the Hi-Fi Man HE400 or 400 something, and it's either sold through or they've increased the price. It's no longer $120. I can't remember. Yeah, it's the actually it's the Hi-Fi Man HEX4 planar magnetic headphones. It is at $129. Not too shabby. I think probably worth a look. Sonos headphone. So Wing Sun, yes, I was very, very curious whether, in the time that they launched the Sonos Room, I had hoped that they launched the Sonos headphone, because I would want that. And especially for you, if you have access to all your songs at home, and maybe that connection, it's not Wi-Fi, so there's no connectivity, but Bluetooth. Well, okay. Sonos will grow closer to Apple since the views that have been happening with Google. I don't know. I think Sonos and Apple has a love-hate relationship. Recently, there was some talk on Apple buying over Sonos. I don't know whether that was happening or not, or whether they were in any kind of financial difficulties. But yeah, I think every company will try to fend for themselves. I'm not sure whether Sonos is going to do well with Apple as independent companies, or would it be better for them to work together, as in so close together, like Apple is buying out Sonos. But I don't know. I am not privy to the matter. Okay, guys, so it is 10:30 in Singapore right now, and I hope you have enjoyed yourself on this live session. And Jala, yes, if they bought Sonos, you will buy an Apple phone. Yes, because they will drop support for maybe Google. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so thanks for joining me today, and I've had a great time. I hope you have had a great time as well. After I end the video, I think the video might be saved. I'm actually not very sure. If you can still leave the comments, leave the comments in the comment section, and I'll see you again soon. And thank you guys for the support. Thanks for coming on board for the first live stream, and see you guys.